Hello, folks. This is Anthony. Anthony from Honda Snowblower Enthusiast on Facebook and Nextdoor and YouTube. I've got some good news today. My phone's starting to work again, and I want to show you something that a lot of Honda owners are doing, which can cause serious, expensive repairs down the road. So this is something that you never do with your Honda Snowblower. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's my trusty custom 828. In here is your hydrostatic transmission that drives your gearbox, that drives your shafts. Here's the gearbox I'm talking about. This is your drive axle. The hydrostatic shaft goes in here. Here's your gearbox. And if you're not using your Honda correctly, I'm going to show you with the machine in a minute. You can damage this gearbox, which is a very expensive repair. $300+ in parts, another 300 or so US dollars in labor to repair this gearbox. So let me show you what people were doing. I see this all the time, how they're using the machine improperly that can cause damage to this gearbox. Got a machine over here running right now. And what they do is they slam the machine into a berm at full speed. All right, I got it all the way forward. And they'll try to force the machine. And then if that doesn't work, they go full speed, reverse, then go back, slam it in, go back and forth, slam it in, trying to force the machine. Look, what do you think this is doing? I mean, what do you think that's doing to the machine? You're going to be putting a lot of stress on this gearbox. And I see it all the time. I see this all the time. I call it power shifting when they're using the shifter back and forth. Wow, wow. You know, they're going back and forth. Where? Slamming into the berms. And eventually, over time, that's going to cause your gearbox to fail. It can also break the pins when you're jamming up the machine and your tracks. You could be breaking your drive pins on your sprocket wheels. I can show you an example what happens with the drive wheel over time. Let me show you. Here's a drive wheel. See the hole? Do you see the hole where the pin goes? Right there. See how elongated it is? Look how bad that is. No wonder the owner told me that they kept on breaking pins. The pin just kept on slamming back and forth, probably over a couple years. And it makes this hole more egg-shaped and more egg-shaped. What I usually do is I'll just take a 1/4-inch drill bit and drill a hole right here on the opposite side. But that's what I'm talking about, the abuse of using the machine like this over a great period of time. You're going to end up, this is a gearbox that I'm rebuilding right now. It's got new bushings, new main gear, new axle, new counter shaft. Okay. And what happens over time is it's almost like taking a car and going 60 miles an hour and then slamming in reverse. I mean, you're going to destroy your transmission. Now, this is a little bit different. You know, this gearbox with half a dozen gears in here. Over a great amount of time, you're going to wear this out. You know, you're going to going back and forth and jamming the machine. You're going to end up. I've seen this many times where you'll chip a tooth. You know, like one tooth here. And then when you're going forward or backwards, the machine's jerking on you because it's not catching on where that tooth used to be. And you're just going to wear it out a lot faster. So that's a pretty expensive repair. I rebuilt this gearbox. I'm gonna install a grease fitting, and then I'm gonna pump it full of grease. Okay. So when you're using your machine, folks, you don't want to be slamming it back and forth, forward and reverse. Especially this happens when people are trying to clean up berms. I mean, get a shovel. If your berm is kind of hard, get a shovel and cut it down with a shovel, and then just do a little bit at a time. Do half a bucket or third a bucket. Maybe not a full bucket if it snows really hard. But that's what I'm talking about. You never want to really do this on your Honda snowblower. This is an HS model here. This is a 828 HS model with this gearbox. The HSS models do not have this gearbox, but I can imagine the same thing with the hydro gear transmission. You don't want to be slamming it back and forth from forward to reverse all the time and think that it's never going to break. I mean, if you really want to prolong the life of this expensive gearbox, use your Honda snowblower correctly. And if you put a a grease fitting in here and pump in new grease every year on this older gearboxes, it may prolong the life of the machine. So I really appreciate you watching. That's my tip for the day. Never do that. Call power shifting, constantly and jamming up the machine and jamming up the tracks. So thank you for watching, folks. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.